What happened? What happened? Everything just crumbled before our eyes. I mean, I was looking at it for about an hour. At least an hour. And it was like, okay, blue, looking good. Clinton's cruising at a nice 75%. I was like, it's a done deal that this is hers. Mm-hmm. And now I'm looking at the screen here. And Kat, can you just tell me what New York Times here is telling us?
I mean, it's pretty much all red.
It's red.
It's all red.
It's a little too
There's
red.
they're all faded except for 3 blue states. And then all the other ones are just deep red.
It's rare. It started medium well, and now it got a little too rare. So, I mean, this is it. I mean, there's very little chance at this point. Even up to an hour ago, I was like, Clinton can still rally. She's probably still got it. She's going to get California, Oregon, and Washington. I honestly thought she was going to pull away with Indiana. I thought she had Indiana. I don't know what I was thinking there. I think she still has Colorado. I thought that it was going to be kind of like how we saw it in 2012, where it was like, okay, looking pretty good for Romney, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, the rest of the country. So like you get those first few states where it's, you know, pretty much the South. They come in first, it looks really good for the Republicans, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's over, and you know, you just hear a bunch of seals clapping in the background as the Democrat takes it. Now, this turned out to be a little different.
Yeah, I think we still have some. I want to, you know, wait and see, because that last hour of work, and you hit me up telling me that it is all red. That was.
I mean, it was scary because I was talking to my mom, and she was already cracking open her bottle of wine because she saw where it was going, and then she calls me about an hour later, and she was like, "Is there a chance that Trump wins California?" And I said, there's no way in hell, Mom. Like, every person would have to, like, there's no way. Dude, get out of here. There's no way that happens. And now it's looking very much like, I don't think he'll take California, but I still think it'll be.
I mean, is it even going to matter at this point?
No. So even if so California, I think, has 55 or 56, let's see. So 55 electoral votes. So you throw that on her, she's cruising at 164 to 168. Now, that's the only guarantee that she's got from here on. So, like, give her that, and it's still 164 to 168. He's closing in on a lot of... Like, even when I just look at it, it reminds me that it's insane.
Okay, so, all right. So, look at these. Go up.
Yeah.
So, these faded blue ones, are they counted in this 109?
No, not until they call it.
Okay.
Well, thank God, yeah, but still... So, like, even if she got all of these, I mean, these are all, like, very low stakes
like
ones.
3.
Virginia's probably the biggest one. Pennsylvania's bigger. But, yeah, she still has, like, Colorado up in the open, Minnesota, Iowa, Pennsylvania, Virginia. Even if she kills those, even if she demolishes Trump, like, handedly, she still only gets up to, like, 200. And so... I just don't know, Kat. So... by the way, this is Kat Johnson. I'm sure most of, at least my high school friends know who you are.
Right, that's all your friends.
That's all my friends, yeah. So I have no other friends.
Right.
I think all 4 of them know who you are.
All the others, okay.
And so this is impromptu. We just got the camera. We set it up here. We both got our wine and Chipotle. We're scared that it's the last time we'll have Chipotle.
And
cheers.
wine.
Because Trump, I mean, he said a lot of scary things. And those are things you can't take back, which I think is the worst part, because there was a lot of Trump supporters out there running their mouths on Facebook and Twitter, and now they're not going to Thanksgiving. Like, they're not invited back. You can't take that shit back. So now they're sitting there. They already said these things, and I just don't see that. You can't come back.
Did you see that video of that lady calling, getting mad at those black people? Like,
no.
Oh yeah, you should watch it. It's on TMZ.
Let's just find it right now. What is it?
Go on TMZ. It's pretty typical. No, I don't want to say that, but it is typical Donald Trump support. Yeah, it's pretty much.
By the way, New York or Los Angeles Times, they relied on exactly one black person for all of their polling. They, I don't know who decided this was
almost correct. It looks like
it's scary.
Yeah,
because at the beginning I was like, okay, they got the one black guy. Like, okay. And who decided that was the black guy? There was so many they could have chosen. They chose the one. But
right here. That lady.
All right, so election.
Yeah, look how pissed she is.
Yeah, this is Trump.
Yeah. That's Trump. Trump written all over it.
She got her vote sign on there. Let's see what he says here.
Oh, it's real.
Why did you hit on her like that? Why?
Okay,
So explain the video here.
Okay, wait.
Get your ass out. You didn't need to call him that, though. Get out.
She was already. He's defending some other. Yeah.
She spit on him?
Yes.
Doing that. I don't need to call him no nigger. You are a nigger. I don't care. That's how I'm done. And I'm not a nigger. You are. Why is you doing that? Why? You know what? Why?
That's not even an argument.
And she shot me first. Why is you making racist remarks, though? Why? Fat pig came over and started it.
Which fat pig? We don't even see the fat pig.
She doesn't get in there.
Put their hands on each other. She did it first. How do you know what's going on? You came over.
Oh, see, she's even got the crazy eyes.
Yeah.
She got the shifty Donald Trump eyes.
And everything. That is not right. I got you on video doing everything. I can say fat. I can say anything I want. Now get the fuck out of my face.
This is America.
She's got a point, Kat. It is America.
Let's just let them get in their car. They're voting.
You have a serious
right.
problem calling people out. No, you don't. He's that nigger. Ding car.
Look, he's so.
He's over it too. He said this bitch runs it all the time.
For real. I will be ashamed.
He said it's not because you're black. She's just crazy.
Yeah. He was like, I was the supporter of Ben Carson. That's what he said.
That's what he said?
Yes.
That's like I got a black friend.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He said, I have black friends. I was supporting Ben Carson.
He's my friend.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what's crazy?
For the rest of the, isn't nothing for the rest of
it doesn't even seem like, I mean, everybody else was kind of holding it together pretty well. It was just her. She was crazy.
Yeah, well, this basically, I guess someone was blocking her, and supposedly I didn't see anyone. And then some black lady that didn't make it the fat page, she didn't make it in the video. So she did something to the white lady. The black guy came in, tried to defend her, and then that's when we came in with the video.
And this is like, I was kind of joking when I said it last night. But I don't think this is going to be the last one of these. I think, like, especially last night when we were talking, I thought it was going to be the opposite. I was looking at the results, I mean, like, the preliminaries, and I was like, Clinton's got this. It's going to be a Trump supporter who's just going to unload on, like, you know, the opposition.
Right.
And I was thinking it was going to happen at a bar, possibly in Georgia, somewhere down south, Arkansas, maybe.
Well, this was pretty early. This was when, you know, we didn't really know what was going on.
Well, yeah, this was today, right? So this had to have been today.
It was before they even had any closing. It was like at 2 our time.
Yeah, so this is just, it's ridiculous that, and it's not going to be the end. There's going to be,
no.
I'm staying tonight.
These are the people that are going to prevent, like, these people are going to be out in the streets.
Right. These are the people that are going out there. Everybody else is going to be crying, and it's going to be the lunatics that are out there just, I'm going to just start fucking people up. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm staying home tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm telling everybody, don't go outside. You stay inside. You get your Chipotle. You get your bottle of wine.
While Chipotle is still here.
While we have Chipotle, before the wall is built around Chipotle, you go home. You find your dogs and cats. You keep them inside for the night, and you just got to hunker down. And I was telling everybody, like, just as long as Congress doesn't change that much, we'll be fine. And that was all under the anticipation that it was going to be Hillary Clinton in power. And it was like, okay, we'll have a divided Congress. It's going to be kosher because, like, they can't do anything. Like, it just, to me, it was like, that's great because the House didn't change that much, Senate didn't change that much, and we're going to get Hillary, and she's got some ideas. Some of them are okay, but at least the crazy ones will be filtered out, and we'll be okay. This, I kind of regret what I said. I kind of wish that the Republicans lost more in the House and Senate, and we could topsy-turvy that bitch, because now...
So when I last looked, the Democrats were winning the Senate. Is it now?
No, it's over. It's
okay.
So I think let's see if New York Times has that too. And it's
Oh
greater than 90. So we just checked New York Times again, and they're projecting greater than 95% certainty that Donald Trump and that shit. Look at that needle's breaking off. The needle is breaking off, and it says very likely. So. Okay, let's just check the Senate stuff here. So, like, look, so they lost Democrats got
Oh
one
my.
seat, not nearly enough, and I don't think they're going to get anything different. So this is going to end out to be about the same anyway. I mean, this is truly remarkable because it's like part of me wants to say that it's not different than when Obama won because it was the same people, or it was the same arguments coming from the opposition, right? So like right now, this guy who I'm talking to on Facebook said like, this is terrible for the world and for America especially, and blah, blah, blah. The redneck said the same thing about Obama. And fucking 8 years later, nothing's that crazy different. We got some healthcare things we got to sort out. We're missing Osama. We got Osama out of there. Got Osama. I'm going to trade, I said it again, I'll trade the increase in insurance premiums for Osama's head. We got Osama. I'll pay a little extra for the insurance. That's fine. I'll make that deal. But now it's reversed. Now it's like, and again, so nothing happened when Obama won. It was like everybody's like, oh my! I mean, my grandma especially was like, he's the Antichrist. This is it.
Wow.
It's over. I don't like to admit it, but those are the conversations that were being had. It was like, okay, so you're saying he's gonna sell America. Oh, wow.
Wow, yeah.
And these are just the things that people say, and they don't really realize, I think, how slowly politics works. So, like, I get especially the aggravation right now, because but I don't think even Trump didn't expect this. I don't think the Republicans expected this. I thought we were all kind of, like, anticipating it's going to be super close. It's going to be probably 50% split electoral and popular vote. But right now, it's looking like he's killing the popular vote, he's killing the electoral vote, and I mean, unless Jesus returns and he's changed his mind on abortion and he converts all these people to blues, it's not happening. It's done.
What I think is happening is basically the black people did not come out to vote.
You think that's it?
Yes, that one black person on the LA Times. He's representing the voting black people.
Oh, that's scary. So you're saying it was like they should have got more black people. They just weren't there.
Yeah, I'm thinking because they're so angry with Hillary Clinton. I think they were leaning towards Bernie, and so now it's kind of like I'm not going to vote for anyone.
Which is
all the Trump supporters are like, I'm definitely voting.
Right.
There was no switch off. It was like, I'm voting. So,
but that was the thing, and that was I kept thinking, like, is this true? And I just didn't know. But, like, when Bernie dropped out, everybody flocked to Hillary. And in my mind, I mean, you can tell me I'm wrong because I'm not black. But in my mind, I was like, Bernie is the black candidate this time.
Yeah, they did not flock to Hillary. They were like, well, I guess I have to vote for Hillary. And those were like, well, maybe I won't.
It was like, yeah, if it's on the way to the grocery store, I'll vote for it.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm not getting out.
Yeah, I'm
not so look at, so now it's tied. But again, that's only because she nails California. And that's usually what kills it about this time. I remember 8 years ago, I was at USC, I was watching it, and it was, that year it was McCain and Obama. And I was like, man, McCain's doing all right. And then boom, California. And then you hear all the, you could pretty much hear the Republican, like, they were having, like, separate parties. The Republican Party was like, like the music died. Like, and I was like, who has a turntable in here? But that's what it sounded like. It was like, and, so, I mean, that's what killed it. But, like, look at this. This would be, like, the final death blow, usually. It'd be like, yeah, and he just jumped a little bit.
Okay, so how much do they have?
They have nothing. So, and she'll win it. She'll win Oregon. She'll still win Washington. I think she'll win Hawaii. Oh, it says here that she already won Hawaii, so that's even better. So, she'll kill those. But even if she gets these, it's
they would have to flip one of these reds, right?
They would have to flip a bunch of them. So, like, okay. I mean, her only hope at this point is that this gets really too close to call. And look at it. It's within 100%. I mean, 100,000 votes. Florida's still within 100,000. So if she can, I mean, if she's got any friends down there who can maybe start a bus and get them there to, like, knock on the door and say, hey, can you open the polls back up? We got 200,000 people in the van back here. Can we get them in there? But aside from that, she's lost Florida. She's lost Georgia. That's not a big deal. We kind of all, I think, expected that one. North Carolina was the other one that was, like, a huge matter of contention. It looks like he's going to kill that one. I mean, it's remarkable I mean, Michigan I kind of knew he would get just because the Detroit thing is still so severe. And, I mean, it's... New Hampshire? I honestly don't know enough about New Hampshire. But I just assumed the whole little knob on the top of America.
Like, who are these people? Like, everyone that's just like, nah, I'm not feeling it. They just go to that one state
They say,
there?
yeah, I'm going to go vote New Hampshire tonight. I don't know. But I always thought New Hampshire was, like, blue.
They're with they're with the whole section.
This is them. I mean, the Democrats own the coasts. And, like, if we're looking at this, they don't even own the coast anymore. They really just own the top rights. They own the northeast. And that's not going to be enough anymore. So I don't know. So you think? All right. So you're. Oh my god, it's bad, Kat.
Okay. Do they have the props? What's going on in California with the props?
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be way too early to tell. But let's just see, because that'll be a good one too. And we got to go back to Hillary in a minute though, because yeah, the props aren't gonna happen yet. Those will take a while. Yeah. And the thing with Hillary is, like, I was trying to think about, like, why I hate her so much. Because when I read her issues, like, let's just bring up Hillary's issues. And I wrote this article about the marketing of Hillary Clinton. And I was reading through all of her issues. It's election day, go vote. See, she should have, I don't know, she should have boosted that post on Instagram or something, because that shit didn't get out to the normal visitors, because it's confirm where you'll vote.
Wait, is NBC Republican?
No. The only real Republican outlets anymore, are not even Republican.
You're right.
Conservative.
NBC is It's
really just. It's really.
Okay, so I was watching the live stream of whatever's going on at work. So they kept putting up 2 pictures of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and it's clear. Look at her teeth.
I know.
They didn't even whiten it, and Donald Trump's is like clearly they went in and airbrushed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
really?
Yes.
You think I think he's got good teeth, because during the debate, I don't know if they threw some sort of caps on her teeth or something, but that shit looked like translucent. It was like it looked like pearls.
Okay, so it doesn't look like that anymore.
No, it does.
Not that it matters,
I think this is her. I know, and that's the thing too. Is during the debate, I was like, look at this granny's teeth. Who is this Grady up here? Can't even get real teeth in there. And now I'm kind of like,
maybe that's her statement, is that I took
I'm a real granny.
Such good care of my teeth that they're
I don't know.
Here.
But that was the thing. So I'm looking at, the whole time I was looking at her issues, and I was like, okay, everybody hates Trump for the wall. Everybody hates Trump for, like, the crazy, just absolutely disgusting comments he makes. Nobody is, like, debating that. The point is, though, is that the people who are intentionally voting, they at the least know what he stands for. Now, when you read Hillary Clinton's issues here, and this is what I noticed for all of them. So, like, just for an example, disability rights, this is her issue, and the thing, nobody is going to read more than they have to on this, right? People who are voting for Hillary, they already know, like, what she stands for. They're going to vote for her regardless. The people that don't know, which is presumably what the website is supposed to be for, under disability rights, we must continue to expand opportunities for Americans with disabilities.
Big.
Okay, wow. You're telling me we got to do... That's your plan, okay. What else? Racial justice. America's long struggle with race is far from finished. Okay, well, I agree with that. What are you going to do? And that's for all of these. It's the same thing. Manufacturing. Hillary Clinton's plan to strengthen manufacturing so we always make it in America. That sounds a lot like Trump.
Right.
And still no fucking plan. Tell me what you're doing. My favorite one, though. A fair tax system. Making sure the wealthy, Wall Street, and corporations pay their fair share in taxes. These are the words that drive, I think especially middle America, absolutely nuts. Things like fair share and comprehensive immigration reform. And all of these little phrases she uses here that are really just rephrasing the problem.
Right.
It's not going to be campus sexual assault. It's not enough to condemn campus sexual assault. We need to end it. Nobody's going to disagree with that. That's not a statement. That's not a position.
Maybe you have to read more. You have to click the read.
That's what I'm saying, though, Kat, is the people that visit this
don't want to read more.
Right. I'm looking here. I'm a voter. Say I'm a millennial. Even if I'm her target demographic. You got about 4 seconds to capture my attention. And if I see this and it's your fucking face everywhere, if I'm looking at you, you're talking about sexual assault, and I got you pointing your finger at me, that's not gonna bring me over. I'm gonna okay, well, so far I got a big monitor here, and we have the entire screen. She has not mentioned anything about sexual assault yet. Mm-hmm. I gotta scroll my ass all the way down, 50% down the page. I want to send a message to every survivor of sexual assault. Don't let anyone silence your voice. You have the right to be heard. Great. Totally agree. I think it needs to be done. I don't know what you're doing. I like what you're saying. Provide comprehensive support to survivors. Love it. Fair process for all. What does that mean? Increasing prevention efforts. How? If I get to this page, if I've shown enough interest in here, you need to stop talking about you. Mm-hmm. You need to start talking about the people you're supposed to be representing here. In this case, I think you did a good job with campus sexual assault. It's a serious issue and it needs more attention. But so far, you've pretty much just said, I'm great. Hillary has led the efforts. Every fourth or fifth word on this fucking page is Hillary. Hillary, 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 Hillary. Hillary rallied. Hillary co-sponsored. Hillary introduced. Hillary supported. All of these Hillarys is not what I need to be seeing right now. I need to know...
Okay, so what about the video? That's definitely for the millennials.
I want to send a message to every survivor of sexual assault. Don't let anyone silence your voice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You have a right to be heard.
Right.
And you have a right to be believed.
We're
with you.
Page.
Okay. Well, yeah. That's great, Hillary. Mm-hmm. I need to know what you're doing. And that's the problem. Get me out of that. I don't need that on full I do not need her on full screen right now. And so that's where I honestly think she lost it. And I didn't think she would lose enough people for it to be this dramatic. Like, this is still just, like, astounding to me. It's disgusting. Like, I kind of want to throw up. But I won't, because I just had Chipotle.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, what? So it went from greater... no. So it went from greater than 95% chance for Trump... to 94. And then it shot back up to 95. Like, I don't know. I have one friend who was like, I told you, at the Clinton celebration, they were all stoked. They were like, woo, it's time to clap, you know, like, oh, all right, here comes Pennsylvania. We won Pennsylvania. Maryland, we got Maryland, New Jersey. And then it was like, all right, Florida, what are you doing, Florida? And then, Florida? And that's the problem with Florida every single time. We were talking about this in the car.
Wait, what did this used to be? Because this just changed to...
It used to be gray.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. He's locking it down. He's solidifying the lead here. Iowa just went from undecided...
Donald Trump.
...to leaning to Trump.
We're talking about Donald Trump like he's the one in the red.
Look at this.
Oh, these people...
I mean, these alerts are just flooding in here. Donald Trump projected to win North Carolina. I knew that.
Why? Yeah.
Stock futures plunge as Donald Trump's victory in swing states rattles investors. My mom, he won Florida. No emotion. She's given up at this point. He won Florida.
I think that was really the point of no return.
And then I also have iFunny breaking memes. No matter who wins tonight, memes are greater than politics. This is the one time I have to...
They've given up.
I gotta disagree with iFunny on that one. This is the time where we kind of needed both. We needed memes and politics. and I think we're only gonna get one. So this is depressing. I mean, it's not so much like this is going to be and this is kind of what I was saying earlier. I don't think anything's going to change. He'll never build the wall. He'll never do half of it. He'll never bomb anybody who people just, he's going to tone down. I honestly think he'll tone down. He's going to get some of the best advisors in there. They're going to run the country for 4 years. He's going to be the namesake and he's going to be the trademark, but it's going to be somebody else's campaign or presidency. And we're going to be okay.
That's the thing is that you're expecting Donald Trump to be Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is unpredictable, so you can't even forecast what's
I know. But I still think that man is a delegator. I think he goes into places, he's gonna find out, wait, turns out I know absolutely nothing about central banking. I'm gonna find a guy that does that. That's how you run a business. Look at this. Oh my god. I gotta reply to some of these messages here. I gotta tell my boss I'm not coming in tomorrow. This is just remarkable. Like, I'm dead. I'm recording this.
No one has texted me at all, by the way. I think they're all just afraid to say.
Are you kidding me? They're throwing away their phones. They know they're on. They were making all those Donald jokes that they know their gags, man. That's why I kept my mouth shut. I was like, you know what? King Donald or Queen Hillary, I don't give a shit right now. Whoever just doesn't kill me would be just fantastic. So, and the only thing I can think of, and so you can tell, all right, so you tell me from, obviously I don't remember who I voted for in 2008. I think I actually wrote in a candidate because I think it was still okay back then. In 2012, I voted Obama. And it wasn't even like I didn't really care. It was just kind of like, well, he's already in there. He's doing a decent job. I don't really care that much. Now, for you, did Obama live up to expectations?
I feel like he didn't disappoint. Just some things he could have done better.
But you feel like
overall, as a president,
I agree. He did fine. He did fine. I actually think he did better than average. I don't even know what the best is. I ain't living under. I mean, I only lived under 4, so I don't know who the best was. I don't know.
True.
So
far, I
feel like he was the best I lived with because before that I had Clinton. I don't remember.
It was our first Bush, right? It was the Bush.
Yeah, Clinton. But barely. Then Clinton. Clinton was. I don't remember. I mean, I was a child.
I remember when he got. I remember that whole scandal. That's for sure. I remember that.
I don't even remember that. I remember seeing it, but I don't remember. I was like,
no, I remember it being a big deal and me not understanding why it was such a big deal. I was like, okay.
But did you understand what happened?
Not fully, but I understood that it was like
an issue.
Like, yeah, but I didn't know why it was that big of an issue because I've seen shows at that age.
You've seen shows at that age.
Yeah.
I had that one doctor mystery show. What was it? Mystery Murders. Doctor.
Oh, I thought you were talking about what's the Dick Van Dyke Show? What's his?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What is that called? Mystery Murders.
Oh my God, what is this show called?
Murder Hospital?
No,
Mystery Hospital?
No, it's oh my God, I watched that all the time.
I know, that was the show. In the morning I'd be fucking bananas in pajamas, and then at night I was cruising on Diagnosis Murdered.
Murdered.
That's a show. We need to get Dick Van Dyke as president. That's what we need. We need President Van Dyke.
Everyone loves him.
Look at him. How can you say no to that face?
He really could have been president. I mean,
is that his wife? Damn.
That's probably his daughter.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying probably.
That's kind of gross though. Look, he's got like some peach fuzz going on his chin. That's a bad look for him.
I mean, he probably doesn't want to.
That might be his collar. That's his collar. He's just got really jagged skin. That's gross. We got to back off on President Van Dyke if he's gonna pull shit like that.
He's pretty much done.
Is he dead?
He's not. He almost died though. His car caught on fire and someone saved him.
I heard that. Yeah, you're right.
Like the fact that he's just sitting here in the car, 90. He's done. He's not.
He ain't making it.
Yeah, he missed his chance.
So that's what I honestly think happened, and I don't think it's necessarily anyone's fault. I just think, you gotta move, but I just think that especially the people who are jobless. I mean, if we're being honest, the unemployment rate is not the 5% that everyone says it is. It's not. It ends up being, I would say, probably conservatively at least 12%.
Do you think they voted?
Yeah, I think they voted. That's the only.
You think that most of the unemployed people voted?
No, not in California, because I think the Californians like being unemployed. I think it's the ones. I think it's the middle America ones. I think it's the one in like just the ones that used like the
ones
Rust
that
Belt.
want a job.
The Rust Belt ones, yeah, the ones that used to have manufacturing jobs, the coal jobs.
Yeah, they probably did.
Just the energy jobs in general. Yeah, and I think that they're sitting there and they're like, wait, I have a government who was telling me that my job is pointless, it needs to be phased out, it's all about green jobs, and it's like not going to be manufacturing, it's going to be services, and blah, blah, blah. So I've got that. I've got a government that doesn't like my job, and doesn't like me, probably. I've got the media just telling me that I'm a sexist, bigoted homophobe who, doesn't deserve to have opinions and blah, blah, blah. Which I kind of agree. Personally, I agree. I'm sitting there like, on all of it, I'm like, you are probably sexist. You are probably a homophobe. All of those things I can say personally, but when you have a government that's kind of implying it all the time, and a media that's implying it all the time, you end up feeling probably pretty alienated, probably pretty ignored, because like everybody else is getting the attention. You got New York up there, they're always getting tons of attention. California's, you know, the technological center of the country. And you have like Colorado, they're doing some weed stuff. Like, just everything is happening everywhere. Just even if it's bad stuff, like the North Dakota pipeline, at least those guys are in the news. And then you have this whole chain of states along the bottom that used to be just called America. And it was a bad America. It wasn't a great America. It was a racist, terrible, awful America. But the fact of the matter is we didn't let them be Americans afterwards. And they were gross. They were terrible.
Right.
But from then on, all we've ever said is, oh, those stupid rednecks, they're so awful. Oh, those stupid, homophobic, sexist rednecks. And then they have a Trump who comes out, and instead of saying, like, all these things that you have to say as a politician, like Clinton here, I mean, all of her issues here, I don't think she's ever thought, for once, about protecting animals and wildlife.
But the thing is, this is very calculated. Like, everything that she's writing is like, let's not make anyone mad and kind of support everybody.
But that's the problem, is you end up
losing.
You water down your entire argument here, because as far as I know, Trump isn't over there, and he's not going to disagree with millions of Americans live with autism. And even if I click this, it's going to be, you know, we need to do more stuff for autism. Yeah. I don't think Trump is sitting there like, no, we're going to murder all the autistic kids. We're going to pretend it doesn't exist. We're killing them all. He's not saying that. So you don't differentiate yourself when you say stuff like this. He's not, I mean, granted, he's not going to be as crazy about the HIV and AIDS research. But like when it comes to military and defense, he has a different way of handling it, but he considers it just as important. The voting rights thing, I don't think he gives a shit about. But, like, for all of these, national service, do all the good you can? What does that mean? I already think I do too much. She's telling me I gotta do more? But what I'm saying is, I just think that she took a lot of things for granted. I just gotta check these numbers one more time, because oh, jeez.
Is it because we live in California that we just weren't ready for this?
And that's what I tell everybody on the West Side. I say, like, it's really easy to bitch about the rest of the world and the rest of the country, especially when you've only ever lived 5 blocks from the beach and everything is great. Yeah. You have a job, you live in the best state in the world, you have probably like a house that costs probably $1 million, and you're paying too much for rent, and you're bitching about the extra $500 in rent you have to pay. The fact of the matter is, you have a super great life. The guy with a family of 4
in Louisiana.
Yeah, Louisiana. He just chopped up his last chicken in the back of the yard. He's got a breastfeeding wife and 20 kids back there, and he just lost his Gulf Coast oil mining job. He's not feeling so dope right now.
Who's that guy? Is that from The Simpsons? The guy with like the 20 kids?
Oh, Cletus?
And he's like, I was like, all right, man. Who's the sober driver? One kid? Only one kid eligible?
He said it was the sober driver. But that's the case. Still, just looking at this, I'm like,
I think we weren't ready. Everyone I talked to was like, oh no, Clinton's got it for sure.
Even I said that.
Unless all these people in all these states were just hiding. I mean, I know the Trump supporters were hiding in California.
Well, and that's, yeah.
But who knows? You know, they may be the opposite in all those states.
I think that was the case too, because and that only fuels my point, and that's what I was trying to tell this guy on Facebook, is you only prove like my point and everybody else's point when you say like they have to live in the shadows if they're supporting Trump. Why? I have friends who like wanted to support Trump. They wanted to wear their hats out, and the moment they did, they were bashed as being a terrorist or not a terrorist, a xenophobe and blah blah blah. Especially in California, you're not wearing a Trump hat when you're going to get your street tacos. It ain't gonna happen. You're in trouble.
Ain't gonna happen. You're not getting street tacos.
You're not getting tacos.
Supporter. Period. Though you don't even know where to get street tacos.
You're not. Yeah, you stay in Mission Viejo or Irvine, where they don't have street tacos.
Justin, why is Washington light red? I need to know.
What are you doing, Washington?
Okay.
See, this is remarkable. And this is what I was telling my mom, too. Is like, even if he loses, the fact that Hillary couldn't fucking own this and demolish it from day one
This is sad.
is pathetic.
You know what? And these are all, I don't want to name them, but these are all the sexist men voting. And all women are like,
you think it's...
Yeah.
You think it's... Okay, I agree that it's definitely...
They're in there.
No doubt, it's 75%
even women are
men.
like, oh no, they're a woman as president.
See, but that's... Yeah.
Even women are like that. I've heard it.
I know, which is just blows my mind.
Because there's other women leaders, though.
Well,
She's not the first.
I want a woman president. Mm-hmm. And I've actually... Not her. And I've said it 100 times, like, women right now in the United States are 51% of the voting bloc. Mm-hmm. If they wanted a woman president, they could all get together. I'm sure you guys have secret forums and chat rooms. You guys got a big group chat going.
Okay, let me tell you about minorities. The thing about minorities, especially ones that have been oppressed for so long, is that the top has taught them how to go against themselves. So women are always pissed at each other. Oh, we can't unite. Same thing with black people. We can't unite. Because everyone is pissed and like, oh no, like they have turned us against each other where it's like we could never, I don't want to say never, but it's hard for us to all get on one page.
So do you know any women voting for Trump?
I personally, no. I don't know.
I
don't know one person voting for Trump, though.
I know about probably 12 people voting for Trump. And I would say a good 8 or 9 of them are women.
Isn't that
no
crazy?
joke, I swear. No joke.
Because they're just like, oh, no, we're going against the women. No.
Well, 2 of them, yeah. 2 of them I know
2 of them is enough.
are, and I hate to say it, they're old school, and they're old school, like, Ayn Rand, men do certain things better. Mm-hmm. And I mean, maybe you're right, because I mean, that does end up being 20% of the people I know voting for Trump are women. I mean, are women voting against other women. Mm-hmm. But I still don't think, and I don't know. Maybe this is the bigot sexist in me. I don't think that's the real issue. You think it is?
No. It's not the real issue, but it's a part of it. Everything
it's definitely a part of it.
I
agree. It's
why
definitely
we're here right now.
And we should not be here. I'm scared we're here. I think we need to leave.
She's losing so bad. Like, look at all these. Most of it is red. I just cannot believe how...
The only time I've seen an electoral college recently that was this awful, especially for a Democrat, was Reagan. So, like, go to... let's see if we can find historical.
Historical. For some people, it's not even historical, which I think is funny.
So let's see. So I did. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is all of the ones recently, right? Obama, it was pretty split for both of his terms. Like he won.
Okay, well that's kind of what it looks.
That's kind of, in my opinion, that's what it always looked like because that's all I ever knew.
Oh my god, who was that?
That's what I'm saying, Kat. So we only know up until the.
And who was that? Okay, I need to know.
That's what I'm saying.
Both
of
those.
All right. So check this out.
Okay.
Nixon killed it. Fucking
who's that? This idiot.
Losers, Kat. That's
wow.
That's Massachusetts
amazing.
And D.C. So they vote for McGovern. Turns out it may have been right, but this is what electoral colleges used to look like. And in my mind, I didn't know that. I was like, oh, it's always like 50-50. It's always a divided house. Like we always have.
Right.
Half the country going Republican, half the country going Democrat, and that's just the way it is. It turns out I'm dead wrong.
That's wild.
And it always is like winner takes all. And it only recently started being this like, okay, wait.
We can't decide.
Yeah, we got to do halfers. And, I mean,
halfers.
Thank God Obama kind of came in and settled this.
Okay, wait, this is Bush.
This is Bush, yeah.
And then Obama.
But at least Obama, I mean...
Okay, so that's...
It's just...
Wait, who's this?
Let's do this. I think this one...
In that one, they...
Still, other people probably checking this out right now because they're scared too. They're like, oh my god, this is unprecedented.
What can we rely on? What can we hold on to?
So Roosevelt. Yeah, so that one I kind of knew. True. But he had a war going on. Worst case we have right now. I mean, what's so bad right now where we're like, you know what, we need Trump. Let's see what these people are.
Need Trump. Paul Darnell say?
I don't know. Where'd it go?
Yeah, disappeared. He
Maybe it deleted it.
backed out of his
Oh
statement.
my god.
Who hurt you, America?
That's what I put. This was my rant when I, like, what?
It's absolutely pathetic that it is this fucking close. Are you kidding
Wow,
me?
That's what I'm
I was
saying.
still at work at that point.
What happened? It's absolutely pathetic.
I was just amazed. I was sitting there watching. I was
At
like,
that, you're amazed at that.
I was
He's in the
amazed at
middle.
that. And now I'm looking out here, and the world's topsy-turvy. I mean, so, alright, like, okay, if we're not being super Debbie Downer right now, the only chance he has is...
He or she?
I mean, yeah, or she. The only chance she has
Okay.
is, like, Michigan flipping and just becoming... I mean, it's still pretty close. That's why they're not calling it yet. If Michigan flips,
Okay.
Washington, what are you doing? I expect the shit from Florida. I expect Florida to be crazy. I don't expect Washington. What are you doing, Washington? Even just looking at Washington. Look at this.
Always.
Washington, up until 1984, blue. Oh my god.
Who that?
That's one we don't know. I don't know what 1980... That had to have been Reagan. What is this one? This is Bush. So this one had to have been Reagan.
Oh, you smell
Two,
my
get out of
food,
here.
huh?
You done with your food?
No, not yet.
Get out here. I'm going to give you a bone. So, I don't know, Kat.
What's going on with the stocks?
The stocks are over. Tomorrow, tomorrow the stock market disbands and we restart, and it's
U.S. stocks futures have turned down dramatically, freaking out over the prospect of Donald Trump.
yeah. So futures are big. What's gonna happen?
Past California has officially legalized
Oh, no way.
recreational marijuana.
See that? Thank God. You know, at least now we can all be inebriated. We can all be high when President Trump takes office here. Let's see.
So people are already celebrating regardless at this point.
Yeah, they're already roasted. Speaking of which, maybe later. All right, legalized marijuana. It's surprisingly
Wow, that's
the
the
only
only
one, the only one that they feel confident projecting right now. If you could hear, somebody in the apartment complex just screamed, "Hell yeah!" School bonds. I kind of expected that one to pass. I don't think it deserves it. Background checks for ammunition. That's gonna pass, I guess. Medi-Cal hospital fees. That one's fine. I was actually okay with that one. I wasn't happy.
Looks like all of these are gonna pass.
Public display of legislative. That's great. Increased cigarette tax. You fucking
repeal
idiots.
English.
Yeah, that's the.
Repeal English only education.
Yeah, that one was kind of. This is the thing. I don't speak Spanish. I do.
Okay, explain what they were trying
So
to say here.
in the early
I've
90s.
already voted in rooms. Should have known what this meant already.
So in the early 90s, a few parents, I don't know how many, I wasn't there, but a few Latino parents got really mad that all of their students were graduating pretty much high school and didn't speak a word of English.
Oh, that's why we have ESO, whatever.
Well, the ESL is like the compromise. So before, you used to just have like everything was taught to you in Spanish. It was cool. You didn't have to learn English at all.
Oh, okay.
So there was a proposition that passed in like the early 90s, I think,
Right.
that said, no, every kid graduating has to
Right.
like be immersed in English. You have to learn English.
Right.
Now, in my mind, in my white, bigoted, homophobic, sexist mind,
Mm-hmm.
I think that sounds like a great idea. Because then you actually do learn two languages, right?
Yeah, but
you keep your Spanish.
I feel like that would be necessary for you to progress in the country, isn't it?
Right.
Okay, I was like,
So that's why it passed, and like
Okay.
people were pretty stoked on it, and then
Mm-hmm.
it was like, wait, this is too hard. I don't want my kid to learn English, or none than that. It's just like he deserves to learn in the language that he knows best. And I agree with both of them. I'm like, yeah, I totally agree, but it's best for him if he learns English
right. This is for them, I feel like.
too. Yeah.
Because
That's why, like-
even when they are in the job and they're like, having trouble speaking, they're looked down on.
That's what I'm saying. So to me, immersion is the best way. Like that's what you always learn. If you go to another country,
Having a good
you
time.
alright, bud? You go to another country, you learn via immersion. And now you just have... I don't know. Is it just enhanced ESL?
So this one is
this undoes
repeal
it. This one undoes it so you can learn whatever language you're comfortable in.
Oh.
So I voted no because I think immersion is the way.
I voted yes because I didn't understand the question.
Right. Right. So that's the problem with a lot of these is it's... All right. It looks good. It looks like condoms are not going to be banned. I mean, thank God.
100%. That's the women, and those are the men.
No, shut up. Why do women care if there are condoms in porn?
Because we want our children to be watching a good example.
Oh my God. Are you kidding? I don't know if you're messing with me.
That's why.
So what? If they're going to watch porn, I want them to watch the safest porn.
Yes. Even
if it's just the most hardcore bondage. Even if it's disgusting. As long as they got that condom.
It's good.
Wow. I hope that's a lie. I hope that this gets shot down. You know what this does? Is it allows one guy, and I think he's a litigator. I don't even, he's a scumbag. It allows him to go in there, and he's pretty much just going to watch all the porn that hits the internet. And now what happens is you do have OSHA, who is able to go in if you violate, condoms already pass as, you have to wear them, especially in California, or especially in Los Angeles. So,
in the porn. Yeah.
Right. But it's not really enforced. It's kind of
so this is either going to enforce it or...
No. So this is what this one does.
You know what? We probably should have had this yesterday. That's
why I tell people, just read my voter guide. I read it all. I think it ended up being 96 pages of every single thing on this ballot. So don't sit there like, your loser stoner friend told you, oh, hey, man.
That one even legalized pot? Now I don't even know what I voted for this one.
No, but the Citizen United, what everyone's like, yeah, Citizen United is really bad. It's like, okay, but that you're pretty much just... It'd be the same as you going out there and getting a tattoo that says, I don't like Citizens United. Yeah. It means bullshit.
Oh, okay, I don't even remember that one.
But that's what... So, back to the porno one.
Okay.
It's one guy who gets to, kind of just watch the internet, make sure porn's coming out, and he says, wait, that's not a condom. I don't see a condom on it.
That's not a condom, rewind.
And he... Somebody enhance this. So he goes in there, and he's not even just him. Everybody who watches porn is able to decide, wait, I don't like that he's not wearing a condom. I get to sue him. So
everyone that watches
me and you, if we're watching amateur porn filmed in somebody's house, not together.
Wait. Are you... Okay, whoa. Back this thing up. I thought this was just for paid actors.
No, anything.
You're talking about... Okay, so any...
A husband and wife, even a husband and wife try to get pregnant.
What do we do?
I mean, it looks like it'll fail. As long as this no keeps up.
That's not really... I'm sorry. The paragraph that I read, the little bullet point thing that they give you in the mail...
That's a lie.
They didn't say
That's what I'm telling you. I was talking to a friend earlier.
Are you sure?
And they asked... Yeah, I promise. And they asked me, what do you think about the Safe Park and Bunny Extravaganza Act? What the enemy?
That deer literally did the moonwalk back into the barn. I don't know why. Okay.
Stop to.
Oh, okay.
He's mad about Trump too. But
okay, no.
So whenever you see an act that's like, oh, it's the Safe Park and Happy Bunny Initiative, you need to take a step back and say, wait a second. Why are they telling me this? Because it's the same thing as Hillary's thing. It's all superficial. So you slam a Safe Kids Act on there, and you're like,
and there's extra.
And it turns out, it's to flood to flood the gates with mayonnaise. And you're like, wait, why don't they call it the Gate Flooding Mayonnaise Act? And it's always the Safe Kids Act because people they see safe kids and they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So that's the porn one. Anybody can sue any porn industry actor. Or not even porn industry actor. Any amateur porn, any porn on the internet, if they're not wearing a condom and it was filmed in Los Angeles, you can go and personally sue them when OSHA doesn't.
Okay, but we're not going to know if it was filmed in Los Angeles or not, right?
That's the idea. I mean, but that's a bigger problem too, because then it just pushes porn, which I'm okay with, pushes porn deeper underground. So you already have these sites and they do maintain pretty clean sets. Everybody gets tested. Everything is pretty much on the up and up. Yeah, shit gets a little crazy sometimes. But you live with it. And now it's like, wait, if I can either wear a condom or I start filming this shit in my garage and I don't get any permits, I don't do any testing, I don't have any OSHA requirements, that ends up having the porn actors take on a greater liability because they're not, they're less safe in that case.
But this is what they wanted. Like, they don't want to wear condoms, right?
That's what I'm saying. So no is the good. No is good. If no passes, there's no porn requirement or porn, like the militarization of the civilians.
So this is for even the most amateur.
This is anything. This is two married adults trying to have a kid and they're filming it because they're weirdos.
This is Ray J and Kim.
Yeah, I could sue his ass tomorrow if he makes another video. I know he's not wearing condoms. So there's that one. The repeal the death penalty one. I mean it's so funny because we're in California, the most liberal state,
right?
And you know what? We still want to kill people.
That's crazy.
We still want to kill people. The reform the death penalty one looks like it's going to pass.
What are the differences between
the repeal one gets rid of it entirely. Yeah. It says we have no more of it. Technically, we don't really have it because nobody ever dies. I think the last guy died like 13 years ago.
Okay.
This one, the reform the death penalty, makes it so that all the appeals have to be handled like instantaneously, and there's a limit on the number of appeals. So like, yeah. So like right now, what happens is you just appeal it until you die naturally, or until like the Supreme Court says you're done. I know what you're doing, and you're done. I'll kill you now. but so this one is just like you can appeal as much as you want, or not even as much as you want. You could appeal it, but you only got a few chances. You got 3 strikes to appeal. You gotta be really sure you're wasting all of our time here.
All right, what about these plastic bags?
The plastic bag ban. I mean,
okay, which one is this is the ban, and they're like,
no,
they're saying no.
So 65, all 65 does. So right now they collect the 10 cents.
Okay.
And last I heard, I don't know if this is true anymore, but last I heard that went straight to the supermarkets.
Got it.
So
you're right.
It was just ridiculous. It was like, okay, there's a new There's a new law. You gotta pay 10 cents for this bag. I was under the assumption, especially when it first passed, all right, so the bag money goes to some sort of fund and we all use it together to build some roads or something, whatever, all the bullshit they promise. Turns out, no, they keep the money. They do nothing with it. So what this one does, supposedly, we don't ever know, but supposedly what it does is takes the money and funnels it to like what I thought it was going to be originally, which is like a fund that's used for stuff.
Right.
Sounds great. I'm on board with that one, but what I'm more on board with is just banning the hell out of it. Just say no more.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where I need a plastic bag. There's a lot of times because I don't think about it because you got to go, and everyone rags on me because like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. You just get the bag, you put in your car. You know how hard it is to remember to put that shit back in your car?
Yeah, because you take it out of the car. I literally grab nothing to go. It's like you're at work and you're like, you know what? I gotta go to Ralph's.
Exactly.
I'm not. Come back.
Exactly. I'm not. And then I just end up with 50 canvas bags. I buy another canvas bag. So I'm cool just banning it, and then I gotta remember to just do it. I'm fine with that. I kind of was like down on it in the beginning. I think I told everybody to vote no on it.
You voted
but yeah, it's a good thing by the laws. That's one of the ones where it's just like, but that's the other thing too, is I was kind of trying to hedge my bets because if both of these pass, the one with the most wins. So like obviously if we're going to redirect the funds, we can't ban it. Okay. And if we ban it, there's no funds to redirect.
Okay.
So whichever one passes by the or has the most votes ends up being the one that we go with.
Okay.
So I was kind of trying to do like a thing where it was like, well, we'll ban it, or no, we'll redirect it, and then worst case scenario, we got some extra money in the bank.
Right.
And it ends up being the same effect, I think. But the drug price one is whatever. That one should pass. I'm surprised that it's trailing.
Okay, can you explain that one?
That one is when no drug would be able to be sold for more than it's sold to the Department of Veterans Affairs. Okay. So right now the VA is able to just like haggle because they buy in such quantities. They're able to negotiate lower prices on the drugs. And the idea is whatever price they negotiate, they're essentially negotiating it for the entire country now. So I think it's a good thing. At first I was kind of against it because I'm super capitalist. But at the same time I was like, the moment you give market rights to government agencies, I'm actually okay with it because then they're just another market participant who has their own rights, they have their own interests, and they're competing with other market interests to get the most for their value. And it ends up being, I think, a legitimate like transfer of power collectively to an organization, and it ends up, I think, benefiting a lot of people. So I said yes on that one. I don't know how it's no.
So I got that one right. Is what you're saying.
That one's if you voted yes on that one, I think this one really I think just came down to ads because so many people funneled so much money into the drug price thing.
Yeah, I saw a billboard that said don't let government
raise
blah,
the price
blah.
of blah blah.
Yeah, like lie to you.
That's the thing. That's why you have to read it because everyone's telling you the opposite of what it really is. And the Citizens United one, again, that one's just a vanity vote. It's we can all clap our hands and be like, yeah, Citizens United is pathetic. But in reality, I mean, Citizens United, looking back, Citizens United is probably the only thing keeping Hillary alive right now. That's the only reason she has cash is Citizens United. So I don't know what we're all, trying to give her to that for. That seems like a wow. A friend just said choo choo, Trump train.
Everyone in California, of course, is hating on cig smokers. So
that's the thing. Cigarettes.
Hate on cig smokers, and then also is like, but legalize
marijuana. We're cool with that smoke.
Yeah,
we don't want the cigarettes. And who is the people who encounters secondhand smoke on a daily basis? I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I maybe get secondhand smoke like once a month.
Now, it's really taboo here, though.
Yeah, and that's true.
In Southern California, but it's very like we are fit.
And that might be the case. Maybe if I went to the high desert, maybe I'd see a ton of smokers
in the
everywhere.
South, for sure.
But this is California.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't see most of California smoking, but if they do, then fine.
That's why this is even here. They're not going to have that in the South.
Yeah, I'm surprised by this one, but I'm kind of okay with it too. Whatever. I don't smoke. I don't do e-cigs. Doesn't matter a bit to me.
Donald Trump just won Florida. Okay, so that's just official.
Yeah, so he's had it for a while, but he's so really. Look at all these people are texting me. So really, what's happening? Who do you think is going to win?
26.
Oh my God! My mom says 26 points. All right, hold on. Trump man, it's official.
Oh, this is it.
Got some Trump train. LOL. Truly.
I think all my friends have left the country by now. That's what I'm at.
2, I'm gonna take you outside, bud. You gotta.
2's gonna get deported.
2, you're gonna. Yeah, you chihuahua, little boy. All these other ones are kind of BS. The ammunition one, I get it. I just don't think that it's like a thing. If you pass the gun background check, I'm fine. Pass it. I don't think it's going to do anything. But if it makes us feel better, pass it.
Wait, what's measure 1? Oh, is this for New York?
These are old. These are ones that don't affect all of us.
Okay.
Albany one, yeah, it must be.
Sugar,
yeah, I don't know what these are. Do we have an Albany, California? We must. I don't know what these are.
Right, what is that?
I don't know. School bonds. The school bonds one, I don't know how that's going to pan out. Prop 30 income tax thing. The 57 one.
Sentencing, parole reform. Oh, they're letting them out.
They're letting them out.
Where are they gonna live? Like we already don't have enough room for the people here.
I just need people. I need people to know that if you voted yes on Prop 57, you are a disgusting piece of shit. There's no other way of saying it. You are terrible as a human. You don't deserve to live. And I personally hope that all these people are released in your cities.
Do they deserve to live more than the people they're releasing, though?
No. No. You know what? No. I think the people that are getting out, the rapists and just the disgusting. The rapist is the one. When you see the word rape or murder, you don't let that guy out. If you see theft, robbery, vandalism, I'm still mad at that, but maybe. Nobody's really hurt in that case. It's just money. It's just money.
Right.
We can replace that. When you fuck up somebody's life, when you're raping them when they're unconscious, or when you're taking them out back, all of these things, which are covered and totally good to go, according to fucking the master Jerry Brown up there, the great prophet, Jerry Brown, every California is fucking clapping for this senile idiot. And you vote for Prop 57.
Well, maybe they're thinking about like the
What, the rapists?
No, not the rapists. Like maybe that's when.
That's the thing, and this is, and let me tell you exactly why every fucking idiot who voted for this, they all voted for it because, let me see, we have to go to Proposition 57. And we're gonna look up the official name for this here. Let's see if we can find it.
Wikipedia.
This is not the right one here. Oh, Ballotpedia. That's the one you want. The parole for nonviolent criminals and juvenile court trial requirements. Now, in my head, I'm like, oh, nonviolent? That's great. That's probably, somebody stole a candy bar.
I feel like rape goes in the violent category.
You would think so,
okay.
But not for Jerry Brown. And it all has to do with this. There was like a ruling, I think it was probably a month ago or so. And it recategorized all of these crimes as nonviolent. And so you can technically say this because they're not violent anymore. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm pretty sure the people that were raped disagree.
Right.
They're probably not stoked on this. And it's a shame that all these idiots in California trying to be all super lib and super, everyone deserves a second chance. Not when you rape somebody. I'm sorry, when you rape somebody, when you intentionally go out there and fuck up somebody's life, you don't get second chances. I don't care if we had to build 1,000 prisons. I don't care if we have to pack you 1,000 deep in each cell. You stay in there. Until either you serve your full time, or just don't. I don't care. You get to melt in there. Just melt in there. I don't care. Murderers and rapists are the two things, and obviously pedophiles I count as rapists. Right. Those are the three things. Those are my bugaboos. You get those
bugaboos.
In there. You don't. There's no way out of those. You just.
Yeah, that's it. You're done.
Alright, so, looks like we're coming out probably half and half on these. I got some of the stuff I wanted. I'm mad about the 57 thing. I hope that they get released in your cities and you have to deal with them. I want them in, I could probably name the cities, the districts, where this thing, let's see if we can find the districts. Let's see, I can guarantee it was probably a huge shout out probably to Santa Monica, probably the Malibu crowd, all of these people who
Malibu crowd,
all of these people who think that they're doing the right thing because just the West Side is full of just the worst wieners in the world. Mm-hmm. They just sit there and they just clap for everything, and you can just tell, and they clutch their pearls whenever they're sad, and you're a millionaire and you don't really have to think about these things because you're living in the fucking nicest houses in the world. The rapist isn't going to be able to afford the $6,000 rent next to your house. Yeah. They're going to go to Inglewood. They're going to go to Long Beach. They're going to go to these places where they can't afford it, and they're going to rape those people. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to care. You're going to think you're going to clap yourself on the back. You're going to think you did a great thing, and now we're living with it. Let's just go back here because 9 o'clock is coming up. And 9 o'clock, we know immediately that it's,
Washington came to its senses.
Washington was looking sketchy. I was scared about you, Washington, but you came through.
Oh, my goodness.
See, so all these ones with the little shadings.
I feel like some switched over. It looks a little bit more blue. Why is Florida so deep red?
It's deep red because it's still too close. It doesn't make it a statement because there's still 1% precinct that's out. And look at this.
Even Ohio too.
Yeah, let's see how close Ohio is. Ohio, I have no problem giving that to Trump. That is a 42 to 40 or 52 to 43.
What's Florida?
49 to 47.
That's
but
not
look
even
at the
two.
But even look at those numbers though. So that's only 125% off, or 125,000 votes off. That's what I'm telling. She needs to call in some favors. Maybe float some people up from Cuba. I don't know.
Float some people?
You gotta get that one settled. That one's ridiculous.
Those Cubans will float up for Hillary too. Ooh. What's going on with Alaska? Are they voting?
Alaska's always gonna go. It's gonna be Trump. Alaska will get Trump.
Alaska's gonna be Trump for sure.
Yeah. I kind of thought Nevada would be closer.
I feel like there's more blue in there. Is that just me, or?
Well, some of them went blue. So remember, Virginia was kind of contested. It was like a light blue.
Yeah.
Now it's more blue. New Hampshire's still cruising at red. I don't know what New Hampshire's doing. And look at that. Only 10,000 votes separate the results in New Hampshire. That one's probably going to go pretty deep into the night, but it's only 4 electoral votes. Does not matter at this point. And like it's funny too because like when you look at this, combine them.
But if you put 4 on that 219, that's what 113. That's 3 away.
It's closer, but that's what I'm saying is these. So like, and that's why this is a little bit too. It's a little misleading because these ones right here, they're already technically decided, right? None of these are undecideds. They're just a lighter shade. So when you shade these in here, this one is actually probably like right about here. That's why it says down here he's cruising at 302 projected, and that's because he's really here. And the only way he does not win, like it looks like it's close right now, but it's because they're not counting these light ones. You count those light ones, and it's a done deal right now. Kind of thought Arizona would be closer too, but I don't know. I'm exhausted. I thought it was going to be a lot closer on the popular vote, but I still thought it was going to be a done deal on the electoral. And now I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it, and it makes sense. Still makes sense. And I don't know, maybe the Trump people are right. Maybe it is the silent majority. Maybe they're out there and they just never shared it. When the pollsters called, they were like, I'm voting for Hillary.
This is the first time they've ever voted.
Let it know. Yeah. And that's probably the first time they ever told anybody. And they told the ballot, it's going to be Trump this time. I don't know. Turns out Beyonce, Jay-Z, Lady Gaga, Bryan Cranston, y'all got to leave. You were sitting there.
Yeah, you made to go.
Miley, all of you. You told me
George Lopez.
If he wins, I'm gonna move to Canada. Go to Canada. Get out of here. I don't want you guys to leave, but I'm gonna call you a pussy if you don't because you backed out.
You backed out too soon, clearly.
And now I know you want to go back to your nice cushy hills and your great mansions.
How many celebrities were straight up like? Because usually they're like, oh, just vote. Yeah. They're straight up like, no, you need to vote for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, listen.
Everybody.
I know.
Hillary Clinton. And I don't even, like, how many celebrities were doing it for Donald Trump?
He had 2. He had Clint Eastwood and Ted Nugent.
That's it.
And most people voting, I mean, especially the people he needed, the millennials,
right?
They don't know who Ted Nugent is. And they barely know who Clint Eastwood is. And so,
So really, celebrities, they have no pool. That's what I'm seeing right now. Like, who cares if they're like, hey, vote for such and such? It has no effect on what's going to happen.
No. So let's see. So
and
I got
Get
him, Gary. So this was me about 4 hours ago. I was cheering for other. I was cheering for other. Because on the thing it was, Democrat, Republican, and other. I was like, Jesus, if Jill Stein and Gary Johnson can just cobble together 10%, I'm happy. So, like, same thing. We got people honest. Like, people are pissed. This guy's blaming Russian hackers. Like, no, it's, get over it. Really, the only thing we can do right now is you just got to take an inventory of your life. Maybe it's time to start going to church. Maybe start making investments. You said you.
It's time to start going to church.
Maybe have a kid. Maybe take up surfing like you always said you would. These are probably your only chances at happiness for the next 4 years because it's not looking good. No. I don't know if it's his birthday, but he picked the wrong day to have a birthday.
So
Same with Taylor Bell. Taylor Bell and Henry Gray.
Band.
If it's your birthdays, I'm sorry you picked the wrong day.
Yeah, for real. All right, so you're crazy.
Oh, look at all these.
Right,
no, here's all the progressives. Breathe in, breathe out. The myth.
What time did the polls close?
It's too late, bud. See, and everybody who's like posting, so I got a friend here who's saying she voted for the Green Party, and I got people saying they voted for Gary, easy too. And all these people, you're going to be bashed pretty hard tomorrow if you live on the west side of Los Angeles. They're going to come out. They're going to say, "Oh my God, you wasted your vote."
Yeah.
Oh my God, you elected Trump. You personally.
You elected.
You had an opinion that wasn't our opinion, and it's your fault. Why didn't you? You had a protest vote. It's just I'm sorry, but it's not my fault. You know whose fault this is? It is the Republican Party's fault, and it is the Democrats' Party fault. The Democratic Party's fault. That's all we can blame right now. They're the idiots who, instead of finding viable candidates, decided, you know what? We can beat that idiot with our idiot. And now we have two idiots out here. One who is a disgusting idiot, and then one who is an insane idiot. And it was insanity versus disgusting. It was troll versus some sort of like lizard thing. And that's not good enough anymore. And that was the point that I kept trying to push to people. Every time I'd put something on Facebook, like, you know, you don't have to vote for Hillary and you don't have to vote for Trump. You can vote for, you know, the person you actually believe is right. Oh, okay, so you're voting for Trump then? No. Like, I just said that. No. Okay, but you're voting for Trump. You're pretty much just voting for Trump. And it's like, we need to do better. All of us. That's the only message that we can take away from this, is if you don't want this shit to happen again, we better start paying attention. You better stop calling other Americans deplorable, disgusting pieces of shit. Because they're going to take it, and they're going to say, you know what? I don't like being called that, and I'm going to vote for the person who's for me instead of the person who says I'm disgusting.
That happened too.
So we got to do the thing where we always keep talking about camaraderie, and no one's going to be a big fan of it, but all the people that are going to bitch about, you know, Trump tomorrow, you can do that. You probably should, you know, get your voices out. You know, you all need to cry and, you know, feel like your voices are heard or whatever. Like Clinton says, make sure your voice is heard. Nobody can silence you. But after that, we got to figure out a plan. We got to go to some sort of country therapy and make sure we work this out. Because if this happens again...
What if it does happen again? What if in 4 years he's elected again?
He won't. He won't.
That's what they're saying today.
I know, but there's no way.
That's literally the conversation I had today. There's no way.
But you know what's weird right now is they keep throwing this popular vote here, saying that Clinton is still projected to win 1.3% or win by 1.3% in the popular vote. There's no way that's true. I mean, right now she's still down 2 million. And even if you give her like everybody in California, you give her everybody in Nevada, you give her all these places that I don't know anybody who lives in Minnesota, but I guarantee it's not going to be millions of people that are voting for her. So, who are these people voting? Or I don't know if it's based on exit polling. I don't know what it's based on, this forecast here. But I don't think she even wins the popular vote. I think she loses the popular vote. I think she loses the electoral vote. And the same thing. The only people that we have to is who? The Democrats. No, not just the Democrats, but the parties themselves. The Democrat Party and the Republican Party for deciding my idiot can beat your idiot, and I'm not going to try that hard. I can take it for granted. I take New York for granted. I take California for granted, and I'll sprinkle in some states in between to get me to 270. Turns out no.
She is going to be pissed when the actual woman does become president. Like, she's going to be pissed.
And that's
she's not going to vote for her. She's not going to vote for her.
So that's how it changes. And that's the thing, and that's the part that I feel bad about, because the next woman candidate, if she's not Hillary Clinton, and she's like semi-decent, the sad reality is I just didn't think she was a decent person at all. So if we get a decent candidate, even if she's, okay, and this is like something I never thought I would actually say, but if we get a decent woman candidate and a really great male candidate, I would still vote for the decent woman candidate. Because I kind of do want to check that box off, and I kind of do want to get some variety in there, and I want to get the different perspectives. I don't want it to be a white Wall Street male lizard in a Hillary Clinton pantsuit body that counts as my first woman. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, if this were another woman, it would be totally different, but I know that she's not biologically, she's a woman, but she does not represent women. She never has. Mm-hmm. She's too. I need you to stop crying, but I don't know.
Well, the woman candidate can't be, I'm a woman, that's why I'm running. You know, so it has to represent women and men at the same time.
Right.
You know, and that's a hard thing to do.
Either that or you do. You get all the women. You get all the women together.
I don't even know. When have you ever seen women together coexisting happily?
Never.
I haven't even seen it.
I've heard of the Amazonians. I've never seen them.
I refuse to believe they were happy.
Oh, yeah.
And the Amazons?
Yeah, that might be true.
They were probably out hunting, pissed. They got to hunt.
Yeah.
They're competing against each other, trying to win the love of a man. Like, it's just, they're not happy.
See, look at, so you can see, okay, so check this out. So
what time is this at 6:30?
That's what I started noticing. That's what I posted my Snapchat.
That's when you texted me, and I was like, on a phone call at that point.
But that's
what happened here?
That was Florida. Florida came in. I think it was Florida. North Carolina started coming in. Arkansas, Georgia. They all started coming in about 6:30 local time. And I was like, wow, like, that's when that meter jumped. And I was like, this does not look right. And I'm kind of don't know what to say. And I'm scared, Kat. I was scared at that moment. I was freaking out. I started drinking a little bit. And I started holding my dog really tight because I was like, this might be the last time. I don't know what happens after this. And, it all changed at 6:30. And that's what I was kind of saying before. It always changes when you always got to look at the big states. So it's always, local time, it's always 6 o'clock when the East Coast closes. And then it's here. And then it's like, you got to look out for Florida and Texas. You always check those. You always know Texas is going to go the one way. Florida's always the toss-up. And I think people honestly thought, because up until a couple of days ago, I mean, the polls that I saw, Clinton was still up in Florida by 2%. And then one I had her at 5%. So 2%, 5%, it was kind of like a thing. It was like, wow, this is close, but it's not nearly as close as it was last time when it was, we're at midnight and we're like, okay, so what happens? And then we kick it to the Supreme Court. Which was my other thing. I thought that it was going to be so close that it was going to be another Supreme Court thing. And then I got really scared because I was like, we only have 8. Who's going to cast the deciding vote? What happens at that? What happens if if it's 4-4, what do we do after that? So I started getting scared.
That was a Veep episode. Did you
oh, no, I don't watch Veep. It was good. I'd vote for her, though.
It was literally almost this.
Really?
So it was neck and neck, and then he was winning, she was winning, he was winning. And then she started losing. And then it ended up being a tie. And I learned a lot watching that show. So if it's a tie, then the Supreme, someone votes. The House votes.
Yeah.
Then the House votes about the vice presidents never running.
I don't like that.
I
don't know who it's supposed to. I don't know. It just seems like it should never get to that point. Like if it's like we need to get to the last one. Like there's no way it's 1-to-1. Like the too close to call thing I can understand, but we go back and we rerun all the ballots and we figure out, wait, this person won by, even if it's just one vote, that person won. Mm-hmm. We don't got to waste the Supreme Court's time.
They got better things to do.
Well, not yet, but oh my god. But look at this. Like, New York Times had her just killing it. I mean, they had her winning by a 5% margin. And that's what I was saying. So, 85%, they had guaranteed, or not guaranteed, but 85% certainty that she would win. Turns out, no. Turns out the opposite was true. It was 85% Trump the entire time. And everybody in the media was like, and I always blame the media because I think they're the easiest target. But everybody the entire time was just, there's crazy Trump again, saying crazy shit. Here's great Hillary, and here's the 42 celebrities that support her. Bryan Cranston, what do you think? I don't know. But I don't like him, and I'm going to move to Canada. Well, there you have it, folks. Bryan Cranston's going to move to Canada if Demon Trump wins. Wow. It was a good night, Kat.
You think it's over?
I think it's done. I think it's a done deal. I kept saying I wasn't going to bail out until like it was a truly done deal. But I don't see this flipping in a way that she possibly went. I honestly still think he takes Nevada. I don't think he takes Minnesota. But I think it's going to be higher than the 306 that New York Times is projecting, and it won't actually be 306. It'll be something in between. But
oh my God.
I think it'll be closer to. I think it'll be even higher than that. And look at these things where he just demolished it. Like they said, somewhat more Republican. Turns out, like no, it was just. Oh my God, Kat. I kind of just want to go watch a movie. Look at this. I mean, Michigan. They had Michigan as being Democrat. Clearly not. I mean, it's close, but I don't even know how they could say that it was somewhat Democrat. I never saw like a poll that said it was somewhat Democrat. And just looking at it, I mean, I hate Michael Moore more than anybody in this world, probably. I mean, more than Clinton even. But he's probably right. I mean, you have all these people that are just jobless and angry and brooding 24/7 because, like, they don't feel that their country represents them. Mm-hmm. And now,
But, okay, so look at this one. And even this one, right?
Yeah.
That 5% and that 4%, those are the people that got pissed at Hillary. And were like, you know what? I'm not voting for either one of you. That's what those people are.
No, it's absolutely true.
And so now she doesn't get those votes.
I know.
Here. Boom. Who is this, Florida?
Yeah, Florida.
They're pissed at her. That's the only reason.
I know.
Those others.
That's me. I'm another. And, you know, part of me should probably feel bad for fucking up the country, but I'm not. You know, I'm really just not.
How many other others do you think are going through this same thought process?
A little buyer's regret. a little, you know, maybe we, you know, did we need to do this now? Maybe we could have waited. I don't know how many there are. There's probably a lot.
That's a lot.
You know, if you want to blame me, I do feel somewhat bad, everybody, America. Me personally, for being the guy that voted for Gary Johnson.
Luckily for you, you're in California, so it literally doesn't matter.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, it was low stakes for me.
Yeah. And
that was, you know, I'll admit that was a problem. But, I mean, New Mexico really probably just voted everything. They moved all of their Trump votes to Gary Johnson, which actually probably helped Clinton. Otherwise, this one might be in contention, too, because that would have been pretty close. But honestly, I'm proud only because I think the last time I checked, like, the others, which are just Gary Johnson and the Jill Stein, it would always hover, like, around 2%, 3%. Looking at these numbers, they did pretty well this year. And that's what I want. I just want more options. I want more, less shitty options.
Hawaii, okay, so they just didn't even calculate Hawaii, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to go ahead.
Hawaii, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Same thing with Alaska. The moment, what time does Alaska turn? Probably at 11.
It's at 9 Eastern.
Oh, yeah.
But that's
poll
when the
closed,
poll
no,
goes.
poll closed at 11. So the moment at 11:01, this will go to Donald Trump, and the votes will still be 0. The percentage reporting will still be 0. And it's just like it's a given. It's like, yeah, you won. I don't know.
2:38. She must be crying right now. She's
That's
crying.
the only thing we gotta wait for is the concession speech.
You think she's gonna concede early?
No, she won't.
She's too proud.
She's too proud. But honestly, so like I know for a fact that she wrote a concession speech and a victory speech. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump didn't tell which speeches he wrote. And I think Donald Trump, as insane as he is, I think that he knew he had this in the bag. Because he was seeing the crowds. He's the one, like, again, this goes back to the media. As much as I hate Trump, he had the crowds. He was filling stadiums night after night of people who were just like, we're going to vote for you. And we're scared to tell our friends, we're scared to tell our coworkers, but we're voting for you. And he just knew it. And Hillary Clinton, I mean, she could barely fill a barnyard. She was like, there was one time I think it was like a Fox News affiliate in Florida or something was just ragging on her. They were just like, all right, so just so you know, Trump filled the the Dodger Stadium equivalent, like a baseball stadium, just last night. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton, that room right there looks like it fits about 50 people. and that was her big rally, and it was just like, well,
Oh, Hillary.
Two, what do you think, bud? How you feeling? That's what I think. What are you thinking?
Worried.
You're scared? Don't worry. You're here in the apartment. Nobody can hurt you here.
You're fine. Probably